God damn it. I'm just gonna count down, not me.
Not me.
Alright, Polze.
What? No,
How's it going?
that's never gonna go well.
Oh,
You have to
just
count
go!
down. I can do it if you guys want.
Go, Jeremy.
Alright, from 5 then. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Why is no one saying anything? Alright, so sorry about that. This is Spyro. This is like a kind of like a fusion game with Crash. They kind of went, you know, like, oh, these are PlayStation mascots. Let's cross them over and do a mini game type thing. This is the Spyro side. Like the premise of the game is there's a bunch of different homeworlds, and in each homeworld there's mini games, and you have to beat the mini games to get to the next homeworld to stop, you know, like what are they, Cortex and Ripto from, you know, being assholes and all that garbage. So this game has a ton of auto scrollers, so it's like, you can see now, I assume we're all doing an auto scroller.
Yep.
There's like different types. There's this one where we're in like a Jeep truck thing with a rocket launcher. And there's ones where they're like top down. There's 3 different forms of them. One we're like flying, one we're in a tank, and one we're in a UFO. And then there's like other little type of mini games that aren't auto-scroller. So we'll basically just be kind of taking the fastest route to each of these portals, collecting gems to then spend to open the portals, and then doing bosses. It's a really boring game. I don't know why we're doing this, but we are. So
At least it isn't any percent.
Yeah. There's several categories for all this and the Crash version, but they're kind of obscure because there's a concept which doesn't matter at all for this category, where you're basically collecting trading cards, and you can like trade it between like other Spyro cartridges and Crash cartridges. So there are categories where you collect like each of the cards you can get on a single cartridge, and then also all cards. To do all cards on Spyro, you actually need 2 Spyro cartridges and a Crash cartridge, because you get a special card if you trade between a Spyro and a Spyro cartridge. But it's like, the setup for it to actually do like speedruns and recordings, it would be crazy, so no one bothers. The middle screen resolution looks like a potato because I'm from AU, so I can't stream shit, so you're welcome. Yeah, so I assume we're all doing the second auto-scroller now, if I'm correct.
Yes, I am doing the second.
Yeah, you're in a tank. There's like nothing we can do to speed it up. There's no real like, shooting doesn't really create lag. You just basically want to make sure you don't get stuck and have to restart.
And at the very end of the challenge, you just want to be on the far end, like the far right-hand side of the screen, just so you touch the end of the
there's like an
portal
exit
that
portal, and
finishes.
that's really the only speed up we can do. So you can kind of try and remember like the layout of the level. It's consistent, so. So each of these little mini games, when we beat them, we get I guess a symbol for the portal that takes you to the next world, and we also get one of those set trading cards. You can actually do each like portal challenge 3 times. There's like 3 layers of difficulty, but it doesn't matter at all for any percent. It only matters if you're doing like all cards or whatever. So we just need to go to each once. And you get gems also, which is each kind of minigame costs gems to unlock. But aside from the first, you don't really like, there's no real worry on gems. If you die, you lose I think 10 gems from your pool, but once you're past the first area, there's generally backup gems around the place. So aside from collecting gems that are on the way, you really don't have to go out of your way to get anything. And also each homeworld kind of has 2 sections to them. In each section is divided by a mashing mini game that vary in difficulty. It doesn't really go in order. They each there's like the first is super short, the last is super short, the third's probably the hardest. And there's a mini game. I don't know what mini game goes up to, but the third one you do is not an auto scroll. You're kind of on like a bridge type thing. And you have Molotovs, and you're trying to basically knock the opponent down. The strategy is basically just to sit where you are and then mash, because they'll come over and try to fix it, and often run on the bridge they just fixed, so you do destroy it. And it works out fine. Any of you guys got anything to say? Where you at? What's happening?
I just entered altitude adjustment. I'm doing the different order.
Yeah, I think it's like the only point you can do a different order. So Jeremy does the minigame, I do 5th, 4th, then I do it the other way around. It kind of how to put it? It's just got a different platform you can do.
It's about even. I think Ikka's is a little bit faster, but Ikka's also has some difficult platforming, and this one removes it all. So it's just my way of doing baby strats, basically.
So I'm just failing horribly. I jumped down from like, first of all I jumped down from the 3rd portal and landed on top of an enemy and fell into a hole.
Yeah, I did too.
And I tried to get on the elevator thing, but missed the jump from it.
It's kind of I guess somewhat hard to go fast in this, because when you exit the portals, you want to beeline to the next one, but often when you're mashing, you get like a jump input in, and they often put pits right next to where you come out, so you can fall down or like jump into an enemy. So you can take your time and slow down the speedrunners. So why would you slow down? There is also, as you can see, sparks in this game, which acts as a life indicator, but I don't think it does anything else other than that.
He blinks when a portal is near.
Yeah, that's right. He blinks when portals are near. You have a different kind of life. Whenever you go into a minigame, you start off with like full sparks, but then your homeworld life kind of carries over between minigames. So if you go into a minigame and you have no sparks, no matter what you finish the minigame with, when you exit, you'll still have no sparks. So, and you can replenish that with fodder that's around the place, like the other Spyro games. There are ways to kind of speed up homeworld movement and reduce lag. You can flame enemies, but the way the flame works, it's kind of, I guess, random in a sense, how it spurts out, and it causes a decent chunk of lag in a lot of areas. So if we can, we prefer to just jump over enemies rather than flame them, unless we have to skip, those lag frames. So the first boss, we verse Crash Bandicoot, which is another one of those Molotov games, which really the strat is just to mash B or throw a button and just hope that he moves on it. So it's by far the easiest boss. The others are kind of more complex. The second boss is like by a mile the hardest thing to do fast in this game.
Yep.
So the second one is much the same. It's got some pretty hard platforming and some little platform skips and time saves you can do. The first challenge is an auto-scroller. You're on like a magnetic robotic mover thing. You just got to pick up rockets and shoot the scientists and make it to the end.
Let me know when you get the "you did it" screen for Snow Steps. I think Snow Steps is my favorite minigame. It's really simple and really easy, but kind of like the idea.
yeah, you do each style of minigame several times. This you do now, and the final boss is like a minigame like this. At least not the final boss, the boss where you do, hence why the category is called Defeat Cortex, because any percent is, to beat that you have to beat the final boss, but to do that you need all the cards in the game. Oh no, I shouldn't say that, all the cards you can get on this cartridge. So, yeah, that's why this isn't called any percent, even though it kind of feels like it.
Oh shit, I need to be careful. I might die.
Really? I think I'm just at the end, because I recognize it.
I took damage in really stupid places.
Yeah, I think I'm at the end now, if I recognize my own script. Yeah, I just beat Snow Steps.
Oh yeah, I'm finishing right now.
This platforming after Snow Steps is probably some of the tightest in the game. It's not that tight, but it's there's like, because there's like little lag spikes and all that, it's kind of hard to land on little platforms. There's also a little platform skip you can do just before you go into this level, Arctic Attack. There's a platform that moves up and down, and it starts like moving just as you come on screen. So what you want to do before that is just after you land, after doing previous jump before the platform, you want to jump immediately, and you can just get on it. If you like wait at all and run up and try to jump on it, you'll miss it and fall in the pit. So it's a lot more precise than it looks. As long as you kind of, yeah, are paying attention and nail the jump, it's not that hard, and it does save a little bit. And because most of our time saves are in the non-auto-scroller sections, every little bit helps. So I guess I should, while we've got time, start to explain the boss coming up. It's basically a Crush and Gulp fight. You fight both of them, and there's two phases to it. Gulp's in the back with like a laser gun shooting, and Crush is in the front. And the first phase is you want to head bash Crush. There's little spots on the ground that Gulp shoots like over from the background onto. He does it in the same order, so there is I don't know how to put it. It's predictable, it's not RNG, so the first round, what's a good word for it? Half, I guess. Yeah, first phase, you want to head bash Crush just as he comes on the screen, and then Gulp will shoot him, and you got to do this 3 times, and then there's a second phase where you flame Crush to have him sit down, he like holds his shield up, and then you make Gulp shoot onto that shield and bounce it back up. So we'll be trying to do it like the fastest way, but it's very tricky because the game's like a bit clunky and you can get lag, and a lot of it's just looking for cues that are happening. Where are you guys at? What's happening?
I'm in Blizzard Boss round 2.
Nice. Alright, you Polze, how are you doing, bud?
I don't think I'm doing too great. I'm at the vertical auto-scroller in Snow Level.
Mm-hmm. Stop here, get some fodder just to be safe.
Oh, I think we're within like a second of each other.
Yeah, we'll get another mashing game. The third world is definitely the hardest. It's kind of odd, I always seem to like just get it, but like I can go slower and I'll still always just get it, so oh, that was funky. You can see there when I was flaming there was like serious lag, but there's like no real other way to do that easily. auto scroller would be fun.
Yep.
They're not really, as long as you're focusing, it's like really easy to stay alive in these, so you can shoot the cannon a lot, and the screen moves rather slow. But if you're not giving it all your attention, there are little spots here and there you can kind of like get trapped behind, like there'll be a dead end, and you just forget that it's there and you go down, it's like, ah, crap. But as long as you're like staying focused, and generally if you stay by the sides rather than the middle, you won't get trapped in them. There's also sections where it's kind of, you have to, I guess, zigzag a lot. And if you're too far back, you'll get, I guess, squished by the screen. So generally trying to stay in the middle of the map is a good idea, just so you don't get caught out. I guess you should also mention that after each boss you beat, you get like an ability. So after the first boss you get a double jump, and after the second you get like a flutter, which you can do after your double jump. And I'm not sure the last ability is, but it's like irrelevant to this one. They seem to divvy between kind of like mashing minigames and then auto-scroller minigames in this. So yeah, coming up, I assume for me, JT, is the Crush and Gold fight.
I'll tell you when I enter.
Yeah, and you'll kind of see what we were talking about. It's, yeah, fun. Come on, this jump isn't fun.
Okay, just entered.
Not bad. Yeah, so there's kind of a cue here. You see, Gulp will start firing, and after he fires the 5th shot, I think, he moves into the middle and the screen vibrates, and that's when you want to hit Crush in this spot over here. Yeah. The way I hit him there is how you want him in the first spot, and then Gulp will come over and hit him, and then I want him where I'm standing here.
Ooh, that's bad. I don't know what to do.
Restart?
Yeah,
so that's how you want to do phase 1 optimally. And the second phase here is the, probably the harder bit. I nearly did it optimally. Right,
I did not at all.
Once you get the first phase is that it's the easier bit, but it's definitely the one you want to get right. Yeah, so the fight I had there was pretty good. I probably only lost 8 or so seconds. But it's very precise because the platforming is very floaty, and you have to be very precise with your timing and your inputs.
What? I messed it up again. I have no idea what I should do.
Restart the fight.
I mean, I'm trying, but like I died both times. I'm not playing with any sound right now, and usually I use an audio cue.
Oh, you use an audio cue, right. No, I use mainly a visual cue. It's like literally the only hard bit wrong, really. The rest of it is just trying to do platforming as best you can and mashing and all that. I'm playing good, I swear. I might actually die in this auto-scroller if I'm not careful. Alright, I'm fine. I'm risking this way too much, holy moly. Oh, I don't want to fuck up here. No! I died right at the end of the auto scroller.
Oh no.
Oh no. Alright, ignore that happened. Oh dear. I didn't expect the screen to stop moving and it did, and I... Alright. That's what happens when you lose focus. You just get screwed on something that's so trivial.
I just started the auto scroller.
Alright, there you go. I gave you some catch up.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Hot dog. This is surely water copy.
Definitely. Oops, okay, this is dumb.
What did you do?
I...
Fun.
I just died before the last hit on gulp. Nice.
Nice.
This run is going well from all sides.
So we can actually use the flutter ability quite nicely in some of these areas. There's, I guess, a decent bit of like annoying enemies and platforms we can skip if we just jump from a high place and mash. So you see bits of it here and there, just because it's easier than trying to run across the ground over enemies like that. These bowl levels are kind of finicky, I guess. It's really hard. You can you have like a zap attack and a boost. The boost doesn't really boost it. I guess it just, if it's nearest to you, you can hit it sooner than you normally would. And then I don't even know what I called the other one. The one that it like sucks it in. You can like pick it up and kind of toss it, but like the way it bounces off surfaces is sometimes completely random. So it's not like, you know, there's 10 out of 10 physics and stuff. So here I'm gonna go up high and then jump over a ton of enemies we don't have to deal with to get to the final the final minigame on this side. It is possible to kind of have this one screw you over, because each platform in these I guess bridge minigames take 2 hits before they fall, so you do have to be careful that you're not gonna die. Most of the time you can just sit where you are and mash and be fine. So the middle of this fire one is like the mash minigame that I don't know. I don't know if I'm bad at it or whatever, but I always like barely make it. Jeremy seems slightly better at it than me.
Yeah, I usually end with like 3.8, I think.
Yeah, I usually always end it in like a 0.6 or whatever. It might be because of like, what ROM do you use? Do you use one that's like Fusion or that has the color? Did you use Spyro Orange or Spyro Fusion?
Spyro Orange.
Yeah, there are two there are like different versions. I think it's just PAL and NTSC like other games, but they don't, as far as we can tell, they don't have any differences. Maybe there's like slight things with lag we haven't fully tested. They do have different names though, like one has Spyro Orange Crash Purple and the other just has Fusion. The game that I run off is like a kind of combo pack thing, so it has both of them on it. And I think they were sold separately, like in America they weren't just sold as the pack thing. I think. I don't know, I can't. I just know there's different version. More auto scrolls. Auto scrolls are healthy. The Crash side has a lot. I don't think it has any auto scrollers. There's levels which are kind of auto scrolly, but there's much more interactive things. They have like a level with a tank where you go through like a kind of maze thing. They have like a level where there's like these, I don't even know what they are, they're like mini tanks, and you gotta like destroy them all. There's like one where you gotta bazooka sheep. So they're a lot more interactive than these. Spyro just has tons of just super lazy Resident Sleeper garbage.
Playing that well.
Should mention that in this level, there's a kind of a damage abuse you can do on one of these copter enemies.
Yeah.
Because we go all the way to the right here and then all the way back to the left because we need to get these platforms that are high up. There is like an enemy you can, if you do it the perfect time, you can like double jump and then bounce off the top of it by taking damage. It'll get you on a platform, but it's extremely precise. And it saves, how much should we say, like 10-14 seconds or something?
It saves about 15.
15, yeah. So it saves a considerable amount, but it's very hard to get. It's like not run safe at all. And generally, if you're at this point in a run, then you're doing quite well, so you don't want to risk losing it on something hard. So the boss fight for this lava world is Nina. It has two sections to it. The first is we need to free the Professor and Coco. We basically do this by jumping over Nina and she'll knock over the boxes. And then the second is we fire up the furnace to move the kind of trap above us that's going to crush us. So we move that up so we can get to the home portal. It's like so close, it's silly how close it is, but you can almost at the start just skip all of this and kind of damage abuse like off of the grid thing and get up to the home portal you can see up there. It's incredibly close, but we haven't fully gotten it yet. You can kind of do a thing at the end there, at the end of the fight, where even if it's not fully up, you can take damage off it and it'll push you up into the portal, but yeah, you can't do that at the start. It's extremely close though. It might be possible in Taz environment or something. And at the start of Wampa Island, the last homeworld in this run, we do another Jeep car rocket thing, auto-scroller. I don't know, there's nothing. This game is so boring. I'm gonna imagine if it was just one of us doing it. Oh no, please no. Where are we all at? What's the status?
I am in Nina.
I'm at like the vertical auto scroller in Fire Mountain.
So some of these things we're passing called the shop. They're basically Moneybags shop, and in there's like different little mini games you can do depending on the stop shop. Some of them have like a cup game where there's like 3 cups, and one of them has like a card, and they switch them, and you got to pick the right one. There's one where you can pull like a roulette wheel to maybe make a profit on gems. They have them in the Crash and the Spyro version, and it's useless for us because we don't need gems unless we play like super badly and die several times and lose gems, which is, it's highly unlikely, as I said. but that's what those are for. There's also other, the kind of secret minigames. They don't pop up till you go over to the area that they're at, so they're hidden, but they're like little challenges. They have like gem challenges where you have to go through the platforming section and collect all the gems in the time, and you get a reward and then a card, and there are... What's the other? There's like another one. There's like 4 levels where you gotta like fall and collect stuff. But once again, they're irrelevant for this. We don't need the gems, we don't need the card, so you just don't bother going to them. But they're still there. Oh, we never answered what record for this game was. It's what is it? Unofficially, it's 44.56, isn't it?
34.54.
34.54. But we don't like have a recording of it, so I
We
think
do.
technically it's... Do we?
Yeah, but it's on an emulator that I don't know if it's actually allowed.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of...
I run on Mac, and so I'm not sure what emulators are allowed, and there was a problem with ETD emulators, and at the time I just didn't want to, like, later have my run, that, like, have there be questions of whether the emulator should be allowed or if it's allowed, any of that.
God damn, I don't know more. Okay, this section isn't... It's like specific areas you want to jump and flutter and all that to get enemies, but it's still... Yeah. Just because necessarily like a flame is heading towards the enemy, they're kind of... Like, it's random how far they go, whether they go straight to the ground or forward, and sometimes you can hit them but still get hit by their body, so it's... Yeah. It's complicated.
These bosses are not friendly towards me. I just died at Nina as well.
Got this. That ball level there is probably the hardest. In the ball levels, they're kind of different enemies. They have like the green guys, the scientists, which don't do a lot. They have the blue ones, which produce extra balls, and the orange ones, which have shields. So kind of most of the time, you want to get the blue guys as soon as you can, just to get some extra balls out in the field. That one you can do really quick sometimes like that, but it is it's like fairly random where things go. Yeah. So we're heading really to the end of the game now, at least the end of this run. As I said before, the final fight is against Cortex in the metal walker thing. There's basically, he's shooting at us, and we want to pick up the rockets and hit him. But of course we have to do one last auto-scroller before that. You know, it's... it's 34, I just can't think. $33, if you get everything right, probably is possible, and that'll be like a really good run, but yeah, none of us have really grinded this ever because it's brain dead, and it basically just, if you're on a good run, it just all comes down to crush and bolt, and if you fuck it up, it's like, you know, do you have the will to do more auto-scrollers? My stream's having fun. Nice. Lol. Yeah, reminder to follow me for good quality streams like this. I swear I'll deliver on my promise. So I've done all the mini games now, so I'll be heading towards the final boss.
Good luck.
I'm just gonna do a bit more platforming. This game was just a jump and flame, right? Yeah. There's like a troll plant there if you're not really paying attention, and you don't flow over that plant, it'll like hit you and then hit you down into a pit, and you lose a decent chunk of time. It's just the final boss, it's basically the last thing. You can see Cortex in the machine. He kind of puts up like a green thing, and you shoot it with a rocket, and then he shoots it, and then you want to hit him when he doesn't have it up, and that's how you do damage. How many hits? I don't remember how many hits it is total.
I have no idea.
I just know the kind of spot you should be at roughly when.
Yeah,
kind of
basically
like-
if you see a rocket, you can just shoot it immediately, and that's what you do optimally. And so there's not really any RNG or any like major execution that you have to do. It's just pick up and
I think I've
shoot.
got one hit left and I'm done. I'm not up. I don't remember fully. Okay, yeah, I'm done. The
Nice.
time ends on the you did it screen. Oh, you're welcome. And then yeah, we're just in Tech Park, which normally you'd go over here, but you can't get to the portal in because you don't have all the cards, Spyro. Oh no. So yeah, technically 80% is when you go through here and then beat the boss of the next section, but we really can't do that. And yeah, this kind of works as a category, so it exists. You did the same thing I did, Jeremy. You jumped into the dude.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't do that.
Oh my god.
Okay, I died, but I still did it, so whatever.
Yeah, that can happen too. There's also another thing you do, it's kind of like, I don't know what you put it, but if you like drop down into Cortex and try to shoot, you can kind of get in a state where he like doesn't die, so you have to exit and restart it. It's odd.
Yeah.
Nice.
Meanwhile, I'm just dying at the most dumb places.
Just having fun. Playing a good video game.
Quality video game.
I think, yeah, Polze was running this before myself and Jeremy were, as far as I know.
Yeah, Polze roped me into running it in a good way. Like he was like, basically he asked me to do a couple runs with him because it was fun, and so might as well.
It was
And
fun.
yeah, it is fun occasionally, but when you want to go quickly, then sometimes it cannot be fun.
Yeah, it was like alright when we just did it for fun, and then we kind of like went in and rooted a bunch of things, and it got like serious and dumb, and
Yeah.
not necessarily dumb, but yeah, just irritating.
I'm just glad we don't have to do all the minigames 3 times in this run.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you would have been able to convince me to do a run if we had to.
Yeah. It's horrible. It's not. I guess some of them are a little difficult and annoying, but yeah, it's just even more over scrolls and they get longer and
They don't
like,
get longer. The mines and stuff just takes more hits and it's just
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. No, to increase the difficulty, yeah, the kind of just everything like ups and takes more hits. Yeah, you're right. That's my bad. So, yeah, you basically just gotta mash a little more, but it's still not hard. It's just more of the same. They like have different colors and all that. Pete the Player. Shoutouts to Pete the Player for something. For being alive in 2016. Congrats, friend.
What a revolutionary.
I'm impressed.
oh, now to Cortex.
You got this.
Finally. There we go.
You did it?
Yep, I'm done.
You did it!
Nice.
That's Spyro Orange, everyone. Hope you had fun.
Yeah.
I know
So
I
much
did.
fun.
Ah! Irks.
What was he even trying to say? Oh, pals. That's not
Oh,
close.
I hadn't even.